Now, of course, every Wednesday we look at what's going on in the economy, and joining us to talk about it from the Big Bend Minority Chamber of Commerce is my friend Phillip Singleton. How are you, Phillip?
Pretty good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and you chair the Young
Young Entrepreneurs Council.
Young Entrepreneurs Council. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the Young Entrepreneurs Council, as I like to say, is North Florida's premier minority business network. Right now in Tallahassee and the greater area, there's nothing that caters to minority business owners or as a whole. So that's what the Big Bend Chamber serves as. But as a pillar of the chamber, the YEC, Young Entrepreneurs Council, we essentially serve those 17 to 40, really trying to help develop their business plans or the business ideas, helping them expand their business. And for those business owners that don't want to actually, or people who don't want to actually own a business, we provide professional development tools for them to diversify their career opportunities.
Now, this is a brand new part of the Minority Chamber. It's just launched this year, right?
Yeah, it just launched this year. We had our launch at Aloft Hotel back in June 22nd. We had another networking function last week, actually. But we're really just slowly trying to grow. We picked up membership, I want to say roughly 20 new members of the chamber. Yeah. But that's primarily through the young entrepreneur outreach. The young business owners who are just out there, you know, in the first 2 or 3 years, it's hard for a business to really grow and develop. So what we're trying to essentially do is help build that platform where they can shine light on their business, help build the network for their business, and eventually grow, whether out of Tallahassee or just have satellite offices throughout the state or throughout the country.
Now, we're not also, I mean, you guys aren't just sitting there having meetings and talking. You actually had an event last week, I think, at Alchemy.
Yeah, we had an event
at Alchemy. It was like a networking event.
Yeah, it's a networking event because what we don't have right now is a place where minorities can really come together and network together. We all know what we do separately, but we don't know what we do together. Yeah. And right now with the YEC, our goal from this summer as we kick off into the fall is essentially familiarizing everybody together. All different business professionals, all different business owners, all entrepreneurs, and people who have that vision for, I want to get my business started, but I'm scared. Yeah. I don't know how to really get there. We're here to provide that avenue to teach them and to help them grow at the same time.
Now, as chair of the council, are you a part of the board of directors?
No, I'm not a part of the board of directors, but LaTanya White, she is co-chair of the YEC, and she does sit on the board of directors for the Big Bend Chamber. So she makes sure that any efforts that we have coincides with the Big Bend Chamber's goals.
And helps determine the needs of the organization.
Of course.
Of the group, the caucus.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Let's talk about the things that are going on across the country. Obviously, we want to make sure that everybody knows how to get in contact, and we'll leave links for the Big Bend Minority Chamber on the website. But specifically across the country, one of the things that is huge right now is the amount of home sales. They're saying that home sales have been going through the roof, and people are actually finally able to sell their houses. Yeah. How does that affect the business community as far as people who are entrepreneurs?
Well, of course, if you own a business, as an entrepreneur, you're really, you take the risk of, I'm going out there, I'm going to create the jobs. So the people that are working for you, you want them to be comfortable while they work for you. So having that, the forecast come in for home ownership come in, it's like, listen, my employers or employees can actually have homes. They can live the American dream. And for the first time in 30 years or 20 years really, we're seeing the market go back, the home ownership market go back to where it was in the 90s, where it was just stable. Unlike in 2004 when it hit ahead of the housing bubble, right now it's really calming down. And I believe that with everything we learned from the last housing bubble and the whole debacle that really was, that we'll really see everything come back into fruition where there'll be good loans, there'll be good home buyers, and the American dream will be able to be lived by a lot of people.
As a business professional, let's go to something that happened a few weeks ago, and it's something I talked to the chair of the chamber about, or the president, the living wage situation in Washington, D.C. with Walmart. As a young business owner yourself, how does having a mandatory living wage sit with being able to employ people for your business?
I mean, it's a touchy subject when you're a business owner, of course, because you have to look at the bottom line that's going to help your business continue to strive and keep going. But honestly, people need a living wage. You can't have people, if the living income is, let's say, roughly $15 an hour, you can't pay them $8 an hour, because they can work 40 hours for you and they're not able to sustain a lifestyle without working 2 or 3 jobs just to get the bare minimum of survival. So I think the living wage thing we're in now, and it's not just in D.C. and Walmart. They have some in Mississippi right now with Nissan. They're coming in, and as you know, from the city of Detroit, all the automotive companies moved out. Nissan is in Mississippi, I believe it is. Right. And basically they want to unionize the workers because what the bigger corporations are trying to do is underpay their employees. while, you know, of course, unions work to bring a fair wage, a fair amount of accountability across the board, these major companies are coming in, so we really have to provide a living wage across the board, not just in D.C., but throughout the nation.
Let's talk Obamacare.
All right.
As a business owner, I mean, now you're mandatory. There has to be some provisions that businesses have to put in place for health care of employees. How important is an employee having that additional?
It's right there with home care, or home ownership. I apologize. You have to have a healthy workforce. You have to be able to provide the resources for people so not only they can work for you, but so they can live. I mean,
because it makes them a better employee.
Of course.
Yeah.
You want happy employees. So it's really, it goes hand in hand. I mean, pushing it back to 2015, I believe it's for businesses that are over 50 employees. I believe that gives the business owners some time. Like, listen, if we don't want Obamacare or Affordable Care Act, whatever they want to call it today, essentially it gives you time to, okay, let me provide these services for my employees so I'm not taxed when 2015 rolls around.
Final question is about savings. I know they say that people in the younger age group, in our age group, aren't really saving. At first they said they weren't saving as much. Now statistics show that they're saving more. How can someone who may not be as sophisticated to invest in the stock market or to have mutual funds or any of those things, how can they start now and say, you know what, I eventually want to get a business saving effectively? What's your advice for that? My
advice for that, they really need to sit down with a financial advisor. I mean, I can sit here and give my advice on what I personally do with my savings and how I diversify my funds, but essentially you need to get the plan that works for you. If you want to put money aside and open your own business, well, first I encourage you to join the Big Bend Chamber and join the YEC. Those are the first two steps. But on top of all that, really sit down with a financial advisor and really map out the plan of where you see yourself 20, 50 years from now financially and how to take steps to get there.
I guess the main thing is having that plan.
Right, having the plan.
Gotcha.
All right.
Thank you so much, Phillip.
No problem.
We look forward to seeing you back. Again, the Big Bend Minority Chamber of Commerce will leave you more details on how you can get in touch on the website, bouncenews.tv.